All right, so welcome to week one, day one. Or what I like to do when I start off with any workout or the workout week is I always go with the hardest exercises and the hardest muscle group first. And for me, that's the legs. And I think you get that out of the way, then you kind of look forward to the rest because you probably enjoy the rest a little bit more. I know I do. So I tend to hit the one that I don't like doing first because then it's out of the way, you've done it, you've got it out, and you can just focus on the rest. So what I want to do is I want to focus on one exercise, and that's the squat. The reason I want to do the squat is it will help with the entire lower body. It will work every muscle group that you need to, it brings everything in play, and it's just an all-round great exercise to do. And at home, it's actually an amazing one to use because you can get the most out of it. Now, there are 3 things on all of these exercises, and I'm going to keep saying them and show you what those 3 things are in each exercise. Obviously, first is the form, right? Second is the speed, and the third is the resistance. So let's talk a little bit about how to perform the squat first before we kind of get into it. You might be someone who's done it many times, but I just want to kind of touch on a few points. The first one is that you have to be very mindful of your form. Now, how do you get your form right? And that really depends on you, right? It's all about making sure that you're feeling it in the right place. So as a tip, what I would go for is do a stance that you would do if you were thinking about jumping, right? So if you put your stance and imagine that you're about to jump up, right? And that there would be the most comfortable stance for you. And some people might be a little bit a little bit narrower, and some people might be a little bit wider, but it's what's comfortable for you. That's what comes natural to you. Now, having said that, it's not done in the same way as a jump because you're not pushing through your toes and kind of lifting yourself up. What you're doing is pushing through your heels. So you're trying to use your heels to control that movement and bring you back up. So that all that pressure is kept within the muscle and not your joint. So you have to be very careful when you're doing this to not put too much pressure on your knees, move too forward or too far back, and you're just pushing the wrong areas. And that's why I'm saying that you really need to think about where you're feeling it. So get up and just get that positioning right in terms of the jump, and then just try a few of them out just to see where you feel that burn. And then you'll know that that's right for you. So give that a try and just make sure that you are feeling it on your muscles and not your joints. The second point is, when you're doing this movement, a lot of people do have a tendency to rush through it. You know, you really want to just get it done, and you find that you drop down quick and you push up quick, or some people will drop down quick and then because they've got a lot of resistance, they'll fight on the way up, right? I mean, you are getting some things out of it, but the main thing that you need to remember is there's 2 parts to this. One is a concentric movement and the other is the eccentric. And most of that growth and that strain in the muscle you get is from an eccentric portion, which is where those muscle fibers are pulling apart. And that's the tear that you want, the good kind that then repairs and builds muscle. So what you want to do is really focus on the speed in which you're doing this. So one thing that I think I really emphasize and what helps me think about this really well is the breathing. So when you're breathing, the other element that you're bringing into this is that focus, that concentration, and even that element of meditation where you're calming yourself. You focus on your breath and you do the exercise as you're breathing in and breathing out. So you breathe in when you're doing your eccentric portion and you breathe out when you're doing your concentric. So breathe in, breathe out. So that then controls your speed. So you want to take a longer breath, right? As you're coming down, so you control, and then you breathe out as you come up. It just helps you sort of mentally envision that and focus and concentrate on that movement as well as your breathing. So let me just go over that one more time, just show you how the breathing will work. Now, when you're coming down, which is the eccentric portion, you want to be breathing in, right? And then when you're coming back up, which is the concentric portion, you want to be breathing out. Now you want to do this 3 seconds on the breath in, so on the way down, 3 seconds, and then 2 seconds on the breath out. So breathe in, breathe out. So once you do that, it really focuses your mind and really thinks, gets you thinking about that movement and what you're doing. So the third point then is about resistance. Now this is obviously the most difficult part because you're working out at home and you don't have weights to put on yourself. So what you need to do is use gravity and your own body weight to help you push past that. And the way that you can do that is through intensity. Now you might not be able to pick up something and do it, but you can use techniques to help you kind of push through that so that you can intensify it. Now, what I want everyone to do to begin with, in terms of beginning the workout, is take 60 seconds, just put 60 seconds on the watch. So just get the countdown timer and put it in for 60 seconds. So 1 minute. And then just perform the squats for 1 minute. Now what you want to do is obviously have that jump stance. Make sure you're going down as far as you can without letting your back give way. So just as low as you can get, right? But controlling it with those 3 seconds down and 2 seconds up. So if you do that, roughly within that 1 minute, you should be doing around 10 to 12. So let's give that a go. So if you got to that mark, then obviously you're doing it right. If you're doing it a little bit too quickly, just pull back a little bit and really slow it down when you're coming down in that eccentric portion. Now, that's a great way to do a warm-up because it just gets the blood flowing and it knows, your body starts to recognize where you're actually working. Now, for the workout itself, what we're gonna do is, we're gonna use the squat, but we're gonna make it really intensive, and we're gonna do the squats, again, in the same way. We're gonna do 30 reps to begin with, and then you're gonna take 5 seconds rest. The whole point is that we want to make it as intensive as possible. So you want to really push as much as you can, right? So you do 30, rest for 5. Then you do another 20, and you rest for another 5. Then you do 10, rest for another 5, and then do 5. And you rest for 5 seconds again, and then you come back down with no rest. So you do 5 again, just pause, and then do 10, then the 20, and then the 30. Now the thing is that at some point you will fail. What you want to do is, regardless of the fact that you're finding it too difficult, if you do, just pause for 1 or 2 seconds, just shake it off, and then go again. The point is just to push yourself and get to that level, right? And then those who find that just doing that simple squat might be too easy, what we want to do is we kick it up a bit, right? And you do 1.5 reps per rep, right? So what you want to do is, in the same way that you might come down and up as 1 rep, you actually want to come down, go halfway, back down, and up, and that will be 1. So if you want to really kind of push yourself to that limit, do it that way, and you'll find that you'll get a lot out of it. So let's go. And then 5 seconds. All right, another 5. Shake it off if you need to. And then 10. All right, you should be feeling that burn. Just shake that off. One more to do for 5. Almost there. Just push through. Let's go. Breathe. Now that's the first part done. Now the real workout begins. So give yourself 5. Now it's the other way. Remember, it's just a pause, no rest. Now if you do fail, what you do is, again, stop, shake it off, stretch, whatever you need to, and then get right back into it. Now 10. Come on. Almost there. Come on, 20. Let's go. You should be feeling that burn now. Just keep your mind on your breathing. In and out. Push through. Home stretch. Gotta get to that 30. Come on. Let's push through. Come on, 20 more, let's go. There we go. 10. 9. Push it through. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. Come on, last one. Push through, come on. 1, that's it. Whew. Now, you should be really feeling that burn, so just stretch it out, shake it off. So just take that breather. Take a minute if you have to, because it's just begun. So that's the first round. For beginners, there's 2 more rounds to go. If you're an intermediate, it's 3 more. So that's 4 in total. And advanced, it's 5. So just the same thing, only this time we're not building it up, we're just bringing it back down. So no rest, just a pause. You do 5, pause, 10, pause, 20, pause, then 30. If you do fail, all you do is pause for a little bit and go again. Just keep it going, keep that intensity up. Come on, let's go.